What's good, YouTube? We're back today with another Market Watch, and if you're wondering, John, why ain't you at the Fort Worth Regionals? Well, funny story, I thought Jackie had a Pendulum Magician deck because she loves them so much. Turns out she loved them so much, she had the OCG deck, and then hasn't had a chance to play in tournaments, so Billy had a family thing today, didn't end up going, and then DJ had work, so I didn't want to drive alone, didn't have a deck, didn't want to scramble last minute. I'm sure you guys know the feeling. And I really did want to go and play Pendulum Magicians, but here we are. So instead, we got you a Saturday Market Watch. Zodiac Chakanine, I screamed this from the rooftops over and over. Hey, this is the only piece not in the Megatons. Hey, you might want to get this. You know, her and Hammer Kong are the only two pieces, and Hammer Kong's an easy to get common. You could have picked it up off Fables at one point. But Chakanine went from all the way at $1 pre-Megatons to now 6th lowest on TCG Player, but she's still cheaper on eBay. This is why I always show both. You can get basically 1/3 off versus TCG Player over here on eBay at $3.90. But she definitely deserves the price in the sense that she is now the hardest to get piece. She's harder to get than Barrage. She's harder to get than Trident. She's harder to get than Broad Bull. So you definitely do want to keep your eyes out for this if you haven't already got it. Maybe you can get somebody to trade it to you a little cheaper at $3. They'll be happy with the plus, but realistically, she deserves the price in terms of what she is now. Will she keep that price? It all depends on the ban list. If the ban list leaves any hope alive for Zoo, she will continue to go up. People are kind of scared to get her because of that. Because why do I want to buy Zoo when it's about to get hit on a ban list in mid-September? Remember, Konami did announce mid-September they would revisit the ban list and maybe put one out. Well, if they don't strangle Zoo, if there's any inkling of it staying alive, this will continue to rise from where it's at. If it is completely strangled, though, this will go into irrelevancy. We've got Infernity Mirage getting bought out here. Somebody messaged me and actually told me, hey, I bought this out. Why would you do that? Why would you message me, tell me, hey, I bought all of them? Like, you don't do that, kiddo. You just don't do that. Yes, there are legit reasons for it going up, as in it did 15th at a regional, but it's one of many FTK/OTK decks out there right now. There's Firewall loops. There's all sorts of crazy things going out. And you're buying out Mirages here. This will quickly go back down. Don't give any credence to this $14, you know, lowest price point, or the near mint to lowest being 17, 18. This was a purposeful buyout by one person, and I don't know why you would tell me that you're the one who bought it out, because that's scumbaggy. So just expect this to slowly go down. Apparently it's bought out by one person, quote unquote, to a point that made it go up to here. So you'll see other people who have these naturally put them out. Now, it does have low printings. It was a good target for a buyout for those that do that sort of thing. But at the same time, come on, man. You shouldn't be doing that to people. They should have a chance to play with the cards that they want. And Infernities is no meta deck. It's got potential, but not that much potential to be really in your face and relevant to the meta. Any combo deck that gets interrupted by a Ghost Ogre or Ash that stops you from getting gamed, it's gonna have trouble. Dark Room of Nightmare talking about FTKs. Trickstar's Bling Burn. Shoutouts to Michael State. There's really a lot of ways to look at the burn aspects, and Dark Room of Nightmare is a really good card with them. Although in the top list, I don't see this used as much, but it has been up here, and it still is. Structure Deck Merrick has always had really high price commons, and I guess it was just a low quantity structure. So we keep going through. There's DR1 versions, SD3, so it's just two structure decks, the DR, the Retro Pack, and the original Holo from Pharaonic Guardian. You can find them as low as $4 near mint on eBay as well, so it looks like the lowest on both platforms for near mint is about $4. You see $3.85 over here for the starter deck Merrick one. I think it's okay. Its effect helps you burn for 300 extra over and over. I still just think it's okay, and that you should realistically be concentrating on stuff like Droll and Lockbird in the deck. But Droll and Lock has gone to 15, so this is the next best option. It was cheap, now it's not cheap, It's just that sort of natural flow of, well, what's my next cheapest option, and then that option got buyout as well. I realistically think the Droll and Lock version of the deck is overall better, though. Let's go ahead and look at Code of the Duelist, because something crazy is happening there. Firewall Dragon is up. We've got it at $35. Before it's 38, and it was at a low of 39 yesterday. So there was a miniature buyout on Firewall Dragon, or just a natural rush for them. I'm not really sure which. We can't tell. We don't have the sales data of if one person or a group of people bought them, or if they just sold 1 to 2 at a time. But it's on both platforms this way, as we see a low of 37 over here as well. So Firewall spiking up a little. You use it, like I said, in so many different kinds of FTKs earlier, that or ways to flood the field, that it's pretty easy to do. To make 3 firewalls. It's one of GCD's favorite things to do in our stream, and it's so easy. So I can see why the reprint's not on the horizon yet. One day we will see it very easy to access, perhaps even as a jump promo alternate art, but that actually wouldn't hurt the price too bad if it's a jump promo. Jump promos tend to be pricey, 20 plus, hard to get. So realistically, it's a question of how it's going to be reprinted and where one day. And since it's not on the horizon, people are finally starting to give into that, I want to play with it now, I don't want to wait. I'm not going to wait for Firewalls. Give me my playset. And maybe that's what's happening. Trickstar Reincarnation, 31, 32, still at the same. So a lot of these cards are still the same. Topological Bomber Dragon had the wrong picture forever on here. I've actually been playtesting a lot on Dueling Book, and I finally see why it's so good and why it's maintaining its price. Very, very, very good card. I would actually suggest having 1 or 2 from trades just to have access to. It's an amazing Link 4 card, but it does not look like this, kiddos. Rescue Ferret still maintaining up, and World Chalice finally dying down a little. It continues to drop a little more every single day, it feels like. We got a high of 9 on Lee, and Guard Dragon all the way down to 6 lowest over here. It feels good, man. But what I actually also wanted to show you guys is the new best-selling card from Code of the Duelist for now. Oh, that's giving away something that is later on Market Watch, and I don't know how that happened. But we're always live, so Code of the Duelist, or I guess we look up Firewall Dragon. I don't know how that happened. We got glitches in our system, boys. But we'll go to Code of the Duelist. Experiencing technical difficulties, and here we are, best-selling Blind Obliteration. Even though it's you can buy it at low quantities of low quantity prices, you're not going to be able to get these unless you find others from the same seller. Only 52 total prices now. It is quickly being bought, as it is the best selling right now on TCG Player, replacing Mrs. Radiant, who's gone to stick around the same price that it's been at. But still, I would get both of those now. And back to the front, still maintaining as well. So our top 5 selling cards here seem to be about the same. And then Rescue Ferret's actually getting up there, as well as Spellbook and Knowledge. Drop that knowledge on him. Drop the book on him. So since it was already spoiled, it was the last thing on my Market Watch. Beatrice is way up there. She just continues to climb. 440 versus the dollar you could get it for about a week or 2 ago. It's a huge spike, a 400% spike, basically. You could easily find these for dollars or less. There were people that were going to wait and try to get them even cheaper. I'd been talking to people who are like, yeah, I'm going to get Beatrice once it drops. Well, too late, too bad. 440, 450, and over here, JRB Collectibles. I think that's JRB Jobber. It is being the lowest at 454 on that eBay grind. So you can get them on both platforms relatively still cheap for a one-of that only has 1 printing. And Dante is up there to $5 for the gold, being the lowest version on eBay. We come over to TCG Player. You can get a bit cheaper than that at like 450, and it'll keep going down for a bit until the actual card's announced, and then it might cause a ton of hype for the deck and a show of combos and a show of what you can do, or it'll be a letdown. One of the two. Most likely there's going to be hype behind it because it's enabling the deck no matter what. It has to have link pointers down, right? Right? It has to enable the main monster zones. Another buyout that happened was the WP11, and I wanted to show you this part first. The eBay first. There's tons of these cards available still over here, but usually if something's getting bought out on TCG Player, eBay will follow, and it's looking pretty weird on TCG Player. There's these people are listing to get in there first, but you see how that was so cheap over here. We got options. I think it's the lowest card. Yeah, $3 make ya hollers. So there's realistic. If you just discovered this set and you're like, oh, I'm a collector, I really want to see it. It still exists over here. But yeah, it's being completely sold out. Look at every single card that's like sold out or super high priced over on TCG Player. It's just completely out of whack. You know, if you really needed that nefariousness for the lore in your collection, don't worry. It's still over here on eBay. But eBay tends to follow TCG Player, so we could see this quickly go extinct, so to speak. Droll Bird and Great Bill and all these crazy funny looking cards, they could be very hard to get soon. So if you are a collector, if you've been waiting on WP11 to go down, it's experiencing the buyout now, you might want to beef up your collection rather than getting these for resale, because these will resale terribly. They resale very slowly. There's only collectors looking at them, but the price could permanently go up soon, but they will have a very, 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 very bad sell rate. And that's about it for my market watch, besides a look at the Megatons and a note that the highest cards are $6 and $7 for Cyclone and D-Barrier, and the next is Dark Magical Circle. And D-Barrier and Cosmic Cyclone are getting reprinted in a structure deck very, very soon. So only be picking these up if you want the holo version, because they will be probably going down even a little bit more soon. Although it's hard for me, imagine, to holo D-Barrier under 5. The commons are coming. The commons are coming. Both of them in a structure deck together. So do be wary of that as you are buying your Megaton singles. I think the best card to potentially have and hold on to that's holding its value at 5 is Ghost Reaper and Winter Cherries. I could see that spiking up again to 10 to 12 one day, especially as the Link era is upon us, and a lot of people might need the same kinds of monsters in their extra decks in order to even enable their other Link monsters, going up through misses into Decode, into Firewall. When you hit one of those, maybe you just stop them in their tracks, especially Firewall Dragon. How we mentioned those degenerate FTKs. You can stop an entire FTK deck with this one card because you're going to take away their win con completely. Again, that's why I think that the Droll version of Trickstars is really great, because you're not relying on cheap tactics. Like, when you rely on cheap tactics, you get hard countered at times, and that's what Cherries ends up doing to Firewall. But thanks for watching. What did you guys think of today's Market Watch? Chakanine continues to go up through the roof. Under $5 on eBay. But again, eBay typically does follow TCG Player. We got Mirage. Again, shame on you, dude. I don't want to read a message that, hey, I bought something out. I'm not going to validate you. I'm not going to give you any sort of credit. Yes, it's a card with low printings, but it's not going to be meta relevant at all, and it'll sink back down. Dark Room of Nightmare, again, it's up because it's the cheaper option, and I think it'll settle back down eventually. But do you guys think it's a good version? Like, honestly, do you guys run this card over the Droll version, or do you run it with Droll? Let me know what you guys think. Like, those of you that are buying this card and using it. Maybe I'm being too harsh on it, but I think it's just up because it was the cheaper option. And Firewall spiking, but settling down really fast. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed this Market Watch. Do leave a comment down below with what you thought of all this craziness, especially WP11. Let me know what you thought of WP11, because I actually really liked how these cards look, but I think the prices are about to be non-existent for a bit.